Have you ever wondered what a FICO score is and what goes into creating that score? On this episode, I'm going to share with you what it is. Welcome everyone to this episode of the AskJasonGelios show. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Really appreciate you guys tuning in here. At the time that I'm recording this, it's New Year's Eve 2020. So I really hope that you guys are planning for an awesome 2021. So, okay. Now, I hope that all of you follow me on social media. The links are below in the description. Follow me on the platforms that I'm on. I offer a wide array of them. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on this episode as well as other videos that I upload in between. Now, FICO scores. Many people think that a FICO score is calculated by different things, right? In terms of how much money you make at your job or business or some of your activity. And so I'm going to break down the percentages of what categories affect your score. Now, somebody who has credit is typically going to have 3 credit scores, okay? So we're gonna talk about just what goes into one of them, okay? Now, a FICO score is about 35% debt repayment history. So 35% of that score is how you repay your debt. Are you paying on time? Are you paying late? Are you 30 days late, 45 days late? Whatever the case may be, if it gets reported on the credit report, it's gonna go into that 35% calculation. Now, 30% is the amount of debt that you owe. Now we know, or you should know, that credit cards that are close to maxed out or maxed out are going to really negatively affect your credit score. About 30% of the calculation that goes into your FICO credit score is the debt that you owe. Now, 15% is the length of your debt. The longer you have debt and it's in good standing, the better it's going to calculate for your score. It's 15% of that score, but that still is a huge factor. Matter of fact, on a side tip, I know some people like to just balance transfer, right? They see a 0% card after a year and they just keep on transferring that out carrying it over here and there. That's actually not a good idea unless you're aggressively looking to pay it off. I don't think you should do that multiple times. It just doesn't look good because the shorter debt, if you close out the other card, that's just gonna restart, okay? 10% is actually new debt. So you get new debt, right? Newer debt, and therefore that's gonna be about 10% of the calculation in your actual credit FICO score. And then lastly, it's 10% is the types of debt. Now, installment loans or revolving loans, right? Like a credit card. An installment loan would be like an automobile loan where it's just one lump sum and you make a payment for X amount of time. All these different types of debt are going to actually affect your credit score differently. So I'm going through these things, right? And as you can see, the biggest calculation by about 5% more than debt owed is actually the 35%, which is calculated based on debt repayment. So the number one thing that can actually hurt your credit score is not paying your debt on time. That's just the biggest one, okay? So let's go ahead and dive through this really quick. I kind of give you a description of each category. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, a FICO score is calculated like this. 35% debt repayment history, 30% the amount of debt owed, 15% the length of your debt, how long you've had that debt open for, 10% is new debt or newer debt that you've acquired or have, and then 10% is the types of debt, whether you have installment loans or revolving credit like credit cards, okay? So number one takeaway from this too is that your score is not based on how much money you make. There are plenty of people who probably make millions of dollars and they are horrible at keeping their credit score up, okay? And vice versa. Maybe you make 40 grand a year and your score is awesome. And that doesn't mean that somebody who makes a lot of money, has a low score. It's just the money has nothing to do with it. And so you can make great money and have a horrible credit score. So I hope you guys found this valuable. This was inspired by the Dave Ramsey show, actually. He shared this. I encourage you to follow Dave Ramsey. But this is really great advice from him. And it's pretty much true, right? The number one factor in calculating your credit scores, your FICO scores, are actually how you repay your debt. So definitely pay things on time. Do what you gotta do to keep that there, and your score will improve. So I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to receive this episode in your email every week, you can go ahead and visit it'sallabouttherealestate.com and be sure to put your information in the pop-up on the homepage, and that will allow you to receive this every week so that you don't miss out this and other helpful videos that I throw in there. So I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a happy new year. Thanks everyone for watching this episode of the Ask Jason Gelios show. Be sure to visit the links in the description below to pick up your copy of my real estate book, Think Like a Realtor. It's a little book about buying and selling residential real estate through the eyes of a realtor. It's real world advice, tips, whether you're a new agent in the business or you are a home buyer or even looking to sell a home. This is great advice. So I really appreciate it if you guys visit those links, pick up your copy, and go ahead and share a review, good or bad, if you like it, if you hate it, okay? But get your copy today. Thank you.